Hello friends, welcome to TechGranth. So in this session, we will know about different installation types for Red Hat OpenShift. So what is OpenShift? Red Hat OpenShift is a hybrid cloud enterprise Kubernetes application platform which can be installed on any of the public cloud or private cloud or on-prem or VMware, anywhere, almost anywhere we can install the OpenShift, and that is based on including Kubernetes and Dockers and Linux, that all come together within OpenShift. So let's see what are the different methods for installation of OpenShift so that we can learn, or we can try our hands on OpenShift, or we can install in our production, right? So let's see in our next slide. Yeah, you can see here we have different installation methods. First is OpenShift Online, which is supported by Red Hat and also built on Red Hat Cloud only. Then we have OpenShift Dedicated, which is built on AWS but supported by Red Hat, right? Then we have OpenShift Container Platform on Azure and also on IBM Cloud. Those are public cloud, right? So then we have OpenShift Container Platform, which we can install on any public cloud, on any on-prem data center, on VMware or hybrid cloud, that will be installed by us only, and also that is self-managed, right? And then we have OKD, which is a community distribution of Kubernetes, and that is also known as Origin one, which is open source, open source distribution, but all these are uh, Red Hat supported. Okay, so you can see on all the Red Hat supported platforms, we have the latest version. It was 4.2, but recently they have launched 4.3 as well. But for open source, we having 3.11, 3.10, or that also came with OKD 4, where we will be using Kubernetes version, which is 1.16, and in OKD 4 beta version, we will be using 1.17 Kubernetes version. According to their service type, how the service will be provided and who will provide the service or support for these clusters, or OpenShift clusters, right? So for OpenShift Online, that as I told just earlier, that is self-service. We can create a OpenShift Online cluster on Red Hat Cloud by ourselves, but they will be managed and supported by Red Hat, and that we can create on demand, right? Whenever we want, we can create those clusters. Then we have OpenShift Dedicated, which is built on AWS but hosted on AWS but supported by Red Hat, right? Then we have OpenShift Container Platform on Azure. Those are separate, but I just took them together. So one is on Azure and another is on IBM. That was hosted, right? Both are hosted on different cloud platform. Then we have OpenShift Container Platform, which is self-managed. We itself install the cluster, and we have to manage that cluster. And also OKD is also a self-managed one. I have also described installation platforms. These are on Red Hat public cloud, and these dedicated on AWS only. Then we have hosted OpenShift Container Platform on Azure, will be hosted on Azure, and OCP, we can call is OCP, right? To avoid repeating again and again that long name. And OCP on IBM will be hosted on IBM Cloud only. Then we have OpenShift OCP installed on anywhere, right? And OKD is also we can able to install it on any of the public cloud, either it is AWS, Azure, or GCP. We can install it on VMware or bare metal as well, and with or without network, uh, without internet network, right? And we can even install OKD with existing VPC network for AWS or GCP, and also for a virtual network for Azure cloud. We can also install OKD as a private cluster where we do not need external internet access, and we can also install OKD on Red Hat OpenStack public cloud platform. Then how we can install it, or how from where we can try these installations, right? So for OpenShift Online, I have written this www.openshift.com/try, where we can have free version as well as paid version, right? For free version, which is available for 60 days, and I will show you that on this link page, right? And will give more detail. Others we can get on AWS or Azure or IBM Cloud. And for OpenShift container platform, which we want to install on any public cloud platform or on-prem or VMware or anywhere, we will use this link, and I will show you in detail that page as well. For OKD, we can even try this Docker OKD version 3.11 in a Docker container, which is also known as a code ready containers for the hands-on or testing purpose. Or we can run that OKD 3.11 instance on our machine with Minishift, where Minishift will be a small platform where we can which will help us to install, manage the OpenShift cluster, and deploying and uh, develop applications there. So if I'll click on this page, we'll get this page open, right? You can see openshift.com/try. We have two options here, either instant access to cluster or create your own cluster. So whenever we learn new technology, we want to try it, or do some hands-on for the technology. So first thought that comes in our mind that we should get it free for some time, for just for demo purpose, right? And so that we can do our hands-on there. So this is that option, right? If we'll click on this, we'll let me check. Uh, so we are these three options, right? Uh, we can get started with OpenShift with a platform given by Red Hat Cloud Platform, just for hands-on or testing purpose, for 1 hour. It is having duration of just 1 hour. And if we click on the start one, it will open a new page, which is here, right? Where we are already having a cluster built for us to do hands-on, right? And we have some instructions on the left hand side and terminal on right hand side. uh, like you can see here, we can perform all the task mentioned in the left hand side, or we can do our hands-on. So I will give a small demo about that at the end of this session, right? So let's go back to that page, right? And okay, we have these three options here. First one is just will be for just 10 minutes. Then we have for 15 minutes, and this is open-ended, which is for 60 minutes. For 10 minutes, we can use the OpenShift container platform to build and deploy applications using both containers and orchestration. In the first option, we will get the idea about OpenShift web console and the command line tool, and how to log in there, and how to create a project or list the projects. Those small tasks, we can check public URLs and OpenShift routes. We can perform those within just 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. I'll click on this start scenario, that it will bring us to here. It will create terminal, and if we'll click on this console here, it will open a web console for the Red Hat OpenShift cluster. So I'll show that later. First, okay. Then if we'll click on the second one, deploying application from images. In that, we will deploy an application from existing Docker formatted image using the OpenShift Web Console and command line. If I'll click on this start, then we'll come here on this page where we will be deploying existing container image from catalog, service catalog option, and where we will be having already pre-configured container images which we can deploy. So where we can see web consoles, topology view, projects, applications, and how to create new applications with those container images. In this 15 minutes tutorial, we can test or hands-on those things. Then we have third option, which is open end playground open, right? So if I'll click on this start one, we'll get here this page. This will be for 60 minutes, and where we can play according to us, not from their perspective. We can start playing and exploring using unstructured learning approach. However, what we want to do, we can do here. So that is basically used for experimenting with the OpenShift and by deploying our own application code that is not with the pre-configured app container images. So let's go back to the first page, right? We have explored all these three options, right? So I will go above and I'll click on create your own cluster, right? Let's create. Okay. So here we'll get different options here to install, right? First is deploy it on our laptop or desktop, right? Using, and as I told, that CRC, which is code ready containers, right? Then we can deploy it from here on any of the public cloud, either it is AWS, Azure, IBM, or Google, right? Then we can deploy it in our data center on physical servers or our clusters. Okay, then the last options, which is for AWS only, where OpenShift dedicated will give the OpenShift cluster, which we even not need to install or maintain, right? So that will be maintained by Red Hat only. So if I'll click on this, let me see, it will bring us to that code ready container installation page, right? So you can see we have code ready containers right here. For that we need to log in with our Red Hat account, right? Which I am having here. I have already logged in. So this option will give us the ability to install OpenShift cluster on either on Windows, Mac OS, or Linux within their virtualization environment. And you must be thinking why we need this login here, sign in, right? Because we have to use this pull secret, download pull secret from here, and that will be required in the installation of OpenShift cluster. So that will be mandatory. Okay, or you can have a pull secret from someone which you can use in your cluster. Then let's go back. If I'll click on this one, so this will give us the option to install Red Hat OpenShift 4 cluster in our account on any of the supported public cloud provider. You can see here we can create our cluster either on AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, VMware, vSphere. Then we have OpenStack platform, Red Hat virtualization, which is in developer preview only right now. We can install on bare metal and IBM Linux one or on local laptop or desktop with code ready containers. Then if we'll go back and see other option, we have deployed in our data center. Let me open this. So that will also bring us to the same page because we will be having option to install cluster or run that cluster on bare metal here, right? So that is the main page for installation. And if you'll see on the last option here, try OpenShift dedicated. Let me open it as well. So it will bring us here a Red Hat OpenShift dedicated page. So this will be for single tenant high availability Kubernetes cluster that will be fully managed by Red Hat. So we need not to worry about building or uh, uh, that cluster. We just need to focus on building and scaling our business with a private Kubernetes cluster. So in this option, we can give all the uh, we can get a Red Hat fully managed cluster, or we can also use our AWS existing accounts as well. So, but they will be having different prices for those. Let me show you here OpenShift dedicated pricing, and this is for standard one, which is fully managed by Red Hat, and that will be cost around $36,000 per year. And if we'll bring our AWS account here, or right existing one, then it will cost about half of that standard or fully managed Red Hat cluster. So main difference is the cost, and second, multiple availability zone cluster. So if we'll have a multiple availability zone cluster with a Red Hat managed a standard cluster, that it will cost about $81,000. But if we'll it will be having on our account, that it will be around $36,000 per year only. So it will save cost on this, but it will also give some extra work to perform on our account, and that will be AWS account will be managed by us only. So those all were the option, and the last one, if it will not be showing here, that we have to go to this OKD site. You can see, right, which I told origin or community edition of OpenShift. So that is okd.io, where we can have the details about that OKD version. Okay, we can download a beta version or 3.11 for Linux, right? And which will be using with OpenShift client tools with the version of 3.11 only for Mac OS, Linux, or Windows. Okay, so from there we can install OKD cluster for OpenShift. So now, as we have seen all of the installation method and types, we can install our Red Hat OpenShift cluster. So let's, as I showed in the try one, right? This try one, the first one, get started with OpenShift. Let me give some more small demo for this, and you can do others at yourself, right? So let me go to, yes, we have here that terminal open for us, that which is pre-configured. So if we'll you can see we have instructions on the left hand side. Okay, OC login and this user and name and password. So let's log in with, right, OC login. Okay, that has been disconnected. That has been expired because it we initiated it 15 minutes back, so 10 to 15 minutes. So if we'll restart it, right, please refresh to start fresh environment. Let's restart. So it will again create a new environment for us for this that much duration, right? So if I'll just uh, okay, I'll go down and click on start scenario. Okay, what is the exercise? Logging in with CLI, and let me see here. Yeah, we it's ready. OC login, enter. It will ask for username and password. We will be using developer for that. We login is successful now. We can see the projects here, OC projects. You are not a member of any project, so you can request a project to be created. So if we'll create a project here, OC new hyphen project and uh, demo, right? So here now we have created a project. So let's again see the OC projects. okay, using project demo, right? It is showing you have one project on the server, demo dot or that's name is demo, right? So we have logged in here. If I'll okay, clear it and type who am I, right? That is Linux command which will show our username on this cluster at the same time, at the current time. So that is root. But if we'll use this who am I command with the OC who am I, then it will show developer because we have logged in as developer on the OpenShift. So that was the just a brief demo, like how we can use this exercise instructions and perform here and can do the hands-on. If we'll continue, it will ask us to open the console and log in there as well, and then to see the project, create project, and explore the per, pers perspectives. Okay, so it means if we'll click on this console, it will open a new browser window with the OpenShift console there. So it will open it for us. You can uh, have some hands-on from there as well for just for some time. Developer and developer enter. So once we'll enter, then it will log into that OpenShift cluster for us. So now here, as you can see right now, we have logged in as developer and we have perspective here, administrator or developer, right? So if we will be admin, then it will show us administrator, but now we have logged in with developer. Okay, so you have seen that this project we have created through the command line, but it is showing here as well. Okay, so right now you can see in the administration option we have these must options: home, operator, workload, network, storage, build, and administration. But if we'll switch it to developer, then we will have less options. So we have topology and builds and advanced, right? Just three options we are having. We can add more, right? If the administrator we want, we can add from here different applications, right? From GitHub, from any container image, from catalog, or we can build our Docker file or YAML. We can through YAML we can create, or from the database as well we can create our applications here. If I'll click on topology, it is not having right now anything. So I will click on build. If we'll create any build, that will show here, and in advance we just have project, okay, events and search. Those are just less options as compared to administration here. So we can create a new project here as well by clicking on this. Let's just cancel and go to the developer one, right? And here create project. We can have a project here, my project. Display name is my project, and description just leave it. And we have created our project here. Now we can click on project and we can see right in the my project. Now it is up, and if we'll go on topology, and we will go to this container image, and if we'll search for parks map, let's see what it will show. Okay, let me so let give its full name, right? Then we search, right? We got this, and you can see below the application name, right? And we will be creating a route for the application. Just click on it and it will create that application for us. So the application has been created. If we'll click on this one, we can have all those options for deployment config, which I also showed you in my another videos, right? We have overviews and we have different action items here, rollout, we can edit, count, add storage and all those options. If we just quick, if we'll create want to see it on the web browser, what this application is doing, we'll click on administrator and we'll create a route for this. Just go to my project and here in networking option, click on routes, create route, and we'll give the name as this. And for service, we will select this one and target port will be 8080, right? And just if we'll create this, so it will show that a route has been created here. If we'll click on this one, it will show the output of that application what it want to show, right, which we have written in our code. So we yeah, we have written the map, okay, map visualizer here. So we can see here, right, we can visualize the map and all the details here. We can zoom or all those things we can do. So that was just a front end which was just showing the map, right, of the world. And but we have one another option which is called source to image S2I, where what we do right now you have seen that we use pre-existing container image, but for source to image we will inject some code with to the pre-existing container image and the new container image we can use, right? And for that we will call it a backend and we will create a backend which will show the maps on this sorry which will show the parks on these maps, on this map for different locations. So that backend service will provide data via REST service or REST API on major national parks from all over the world. So let's build that one quickly. And for that, we'll go to we'll go to our console, go to developer perspective, and in the add one, we'll go from catalog, right? And from here what we will do, we will select the language because we will be deploying our application in Python language. So we will search for Python here. Sorry, in language we have Python, and from here we'll select Python only. Create application. So we have that code or already on GitHub. So we will provide that GitHub URL here, and then now let's create this one, okay, and it start creating in topology view. You can see this national park Kotakoda is creating, and in the builds you can see we have national parks Kotakoda already created within my project a few seconds ago. And if we'll go here and we'll click on this one, right, we have routes, and for if we'll click on this route and it will now show, okay, display port, okay, let me check. So it will take some time. I think that's not in ready, it is building, right? You can see here it is just building. We can click on logs and we can see the logs. You can see all those details and those in my another video, how to create an application, how to build, right, all those details. This is just a quick demo. So now our build has been completed. It is right, it is creating container. Let's go to overview source. So now you can see we have green check mark here, right? If we'll go here and try it again, display port, let me close this one, and it's still creating containers. So now in the topology we can see that has been deployed. Now if we'll click on this our front end, and we'll click on this map visualizer here. Now it you can see we got this information about the parks here, right? Earlier it was not there. Okay, you can get, right, in India as well we are having a different Satpura National Park. Here we have Bandhavgarh National Park, right? And you can see here Coelho and yeah, Jim Corbett, right? So we can see now the major national parks locations on this map. So that was the quick demo, right? Okay. So thank you. Thanks for watching. Keep sharing. This is one last look here. Okay, and thank you. Bye.